Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League showcasing another very powerful team featuring Guzzlord. Now, Guzzlord, very strong Pokemon, has a lot of good solid play in the Open Ultra League, and shouts to fellow content creator Homeslice Henry. He ran this Deoxys Guzzlord core not too long ago, and I was inspired to run it myself, so it will be the closer on this team along with Mandibuzz. Now, Homeslice ran his with a Shadow Snorlax, but I decided to go with Mandibuzz, a little tankier. I worked pretty hard on this thing, so whenever I get a chance to run it on the right team, I'm definitely going to be running it. It will be serving as the safe swap to draw out any potential steel or ice types so that Deoxys can come back in, take out that steel type or ice type, freeing the way for Guzzlord to do what it does best, guys, and that is absolutely dominate the Ultra League. Really close the game strong. A shield advantage is nice for it as well. This Guzzlord team has been one of my more consistent teams since Ultra League started. It is my go-to team when I'm not recording for sure. And here we go. Awful League coming in the form of Jellicent. We make a play into our Mandibuzz safe swap, and they're staying in a little bit here, so very interesting to see. We don't shield anything on Mandibuzz generally, unless we have a potential to flip switch here. And they bring in a Galarian Weezing, so this is okay. So long as they're not running play rough, I'm thinking we can perhaps make a play for switch. They're going to have to throw an overheat at some point. These brutal swings are not going to cut it. That could have easily been the overheat, but Mandibuzz is about as tanky as it gets in the Ultra League, and we would have easily survived an overheat, no problem. And it would have debuffed them, so these super effective Fairy Winds with Stab would have been doing a lot less as well. So now they are a bit cautious about debuffing, but they go for the overheat, and that is a good shield. I believe we can now flip switch here. So we are going to make a play to flip switch and control the alignment, because we would absolutely love to have our Guzzlord on that Jellicent. Not sure what else they could have in the back. Gonna throw another Aerial Ace here and see what they want to do. They are double shielding, so you know what? We're going to double down and return the shield in kind. That is a good shield, and just like that, Mandibuzz, flip and switch on a fairy. You love to see it. Holy smokes. And that was after tanking a Surf, mind you, as they do come in with a Gliscor here. So just going to chip on our way out here. We should go down to another wing attack, and we do. So now what we're going to do is bring in Deoxys here and just do what we can on this Gliscor. Mostly use it as a damage sponge, as our win condition now lies with our Guzzlord. They tried the catch, not happening. Gonna bank that Rock Slide for later, and we have the alignment thanks to our thick and tanky Mandibuzz safe swap. You love to see it. And this Jellicent is absolutely helpless, guys. It is extremely rare to see a Jellicent running Ice Beam, which it can learn, but most of them are running Surf, Shadow Ball. 9 out of 10 Jellicents will be. And yeah, it just can't do anything, guys. But this Gliscor does have energy, and they go right for that EQ. So now we're looking pretty good here. And we are running a very interesting moveset on Deoxys on the lead here. I elected to go with Rock Slide Thunderbolt, and I'll explain why later on in the video. But we go for the neutral Rock Slide there. They need an Earthquake to KO. It is just not going to happen. There is far too much bulk on this team. We're saying bye-bye to the Gliscor. And Deoxys coming in clutch to close the game out for us. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh, this team is so good, guys. So much bulk on this team here. And here we go. Another Jellicent lead. This one's a beautiful shiny. Love this shiny. One of my favorites here. But they stay in a little bit, bank some energy, and make a play into a Obstagoon. So this is okay. We are running Air Slash specifically for opposing Dark types and Fairy types to an extent. So this Air Slash damage is really coming in handy. I truly believe that is the way to go in the Ultra League. Not only do you get to hit these opposing Darks and Fairies for neutral fast move pressure, but the added damage is quite nice on a Pokemon like Mandibuzz. And they are going for the cross chop after fishing for a boost with a resisted Night Slash. We are just not going to shield anything here. We can do quite all right in the zeros here. Going for another Air Slash. I don't believe it'll quite KO, but Aerial Ace. And they realize that it's there. We're in it for the long haul, and they are in for a fight here. We're going to shield this, and they come in with a Pidgeot. So this is fine. Going to chip it with a Dark Pulse and then align our Deoxys onto this Pidgeot here. Deoxys, an excellent answer to the Flyers in the meta. And we are running Thunderbolt, Rock Slide. I just think for this team it is best suited mostly for Tapu Fini leads. That's why we're mostly running Thunderbolt, as well as for a little bit of extra steel coverage with these two Pokemon in the back. Being able to hit those tanky steel types for some neutral damage is quite nice, and they're just going straight Feather Dance, not wanting to debuff themselves, and this is fine. They come in with the Jellicent. We have the alignment. Just going to throw this super effective Thunderbolt to burn the clock, and I think you guys can all see what's coming. It is Guzzlord time if I've ever seen it. Holy smokes. Nothing hard walls a Jellicent quite like a Guzzlord, let me tell you guys, my goodness. And we Dragon Tail down that low health Obstagoon. This is nighty-night sleep tight for our good pal Jelly here as they do top left. It was not quite going to happen for them. Good game, well played. As you can see, guys, this team's so strong, able to work its way out of lead losses as we saw in those previous two battles. But here we go, Charizard lead again. So we know why we're running Thunderbolt. Charizard is primarily why we're running Rock Slide. You absolutely need Rock Slide to handle these Charizards that are all over the Ultra League meta right now. We do tank a Blast Burn quite comfortably, as Deoxys is quite tanky here. And we grab an early shield from the Charizard. They don't want to give up any more shields, so they bail in the Giratina. And we align Guzzlord onto this Giratina. This is actually a lot closer than I would like for it to be, and that is just because Giratina thoroughly outpaces us through these super effective Dragon Claws. As we can see, Giratina still a little bit of a handful for even something like a Guzzlord. But these Shadow Claws are resisted, and they have no hopes of farming down. I should have thrown a Crunch right there, because I believe we could have perhaps Dragon Tail down, but we just ended up, we misplayed that a little bit. We ended up going back-to-back Dragon Claw. If you get the Giratina within a couple of Dragon Tail farm down range, you'll want to go with the Crunch. And they make a beautiful catch, catching our Dragon Claw onto a wall rain. This is fine. This is A-okay. Deoxys, as we all know, excellent answer to Wall Rain in the Great League. It works just the same in the Ultra League. Going for that big, super effective Thunderbolt. And another thing with this moveset is a lot of trainers aren't quite expecting it. They're definitely expecting you to have Rock Slide, maybe Thunderbolt, but rarely are they expecting you to have both. So it's a nice little surprise factor there as well. The Charizard throws immediately, and we are looking really good. We have a tremendous health advantage on this Charizard here. And as you can see, we TM'd on to Shadow Ball. I was experimenting a little bit. But I do recommend that if you have a Mandibuzz and you end up running it in the Ultra League, I think Dark Pulse is a nice happy medium between Foul Play and Shadow Ball. I just wanted to experiment and see how well Shadow Ball would do. We come in, one Dragon Tail takes out that Zard, and that is a good game well played. Nothing but pure domination with Guzzlord in the Ultra League. It was a thing of beauty. What's not a thing of beauty is a Giratina lead when you're running Deoxys. We go into Mandibuzz, of course. And they're staying in a little bit. That's fine. We still, I believe we have Shadow Ball for the remainder of the video. But again, guys, I think Dark Pulse is best suited in the Ultra League. Of course, when they have a normal type, you know how it goes, guys. You TM something away, and then the very next battle, you ended up needing what you TM'd away. Holy smokes. I would really like to have Dark Pulse right about now. So we have to settle for the awful Aerial Aces. This is such a bad move. I really hope they update Mandibuzz. Give it Sky Attack. Maybe even Brave Bird. It can learn that as well. But my goodness, Aerial Ace is not doing Mandy any favors, but we're going for it anyways. My goodness, we were getting quite low. I'm hoping this gets us within air slash range. Oh, it looks like it will. We got the... Wow. That is the power of Mandibuzz. Guys, we tanked the super effective ancient power, and we took out a full Snorlax. If that doesn't sell you on Mandibuzz, I don't know what will. We align Guzzlord onto that Giratina, and we see that they have a Cresselia in the back. So we're going to look to chip Cresselia or grab the shield. They decide to shield their very tanky Cresselia, so now we're going to align Deoxys onto this Cresselia. This matchup is actually quite close, especially if you're running Thunderbolt. Having that added extra damage from a move like Thunderbolt on a Pokemon as tanky as Cresselia is quite nice. As you can see, we're keeping up with the pace of this Cresselia, and those hard-hitting Moonblasts don't do a whole lot. They're doing about as much as our Thunderbolts would be doing to this Cresselia, and it is very close, but Cresselia does edge it out very narrowly in the zeros. They bail back into their Giratina. Switch clocks are misaligned, so going to throw this Rock Slide to stall the clock and get a little bit of chip damage in on this Giratina here. And then we will go back into our Guzzlord. We had the alignment. Mandibuzz coming in so clutch yet again on the safe swap, allowing us to control this alignment was beautiful. And the way I play Giratina is you can comfortably tank 2 of their Dragon Claws, no problem. And then you'll have to start shielding from then on. But all the while, these Dragon Tails are absolutely chunking. Holy smokes. And we want to throw just as they are getting to their Dragon Tail. If you're running a 3-turn fast move and your opponent is running a 2-turn fast move, you'll want to throw on odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. We decided to shield the double super effective Moonblast because our Dragon Tails are doing heavy neutral damage to this Cresselia. So that was my play, and yeah, they just let it go as the timer comes up. Guzzlord taking out the Cresselia to close strong. Good game, well played. Oh, this team was so nice. Like I said, guys, I've been running this team for a few days now, off camera. Whenever I'm not recording a new team for you guys, this is my go-to team. For reasons like this, guys, we've got a juicy Cobalion lead. Deoxys absolutely dominates the Cobalions that are running rampant in the meta. It is beautiful, and this is where Thunderbolt really comes in clutch. You're not forced to swap. You can stay in on a lead like this, not having to throw the neutral. Psycho Boost sometimes can be quite nice, and we kind of panicked and threw this. This was a massive misplay. We could have easily farmed this thing down, so we no bubble to get one counter out of the deal. And they've got an Alolan Muck running Snarl in the back. We bring in Mandy, and they meet our Mandy with a Shadow Lapras. Holy smokes. But this is okay. We have alignment here. Glad to draw this out with Mandibuzz. Again, that's what Mandibuzz is here to do, guys. Want to be drawing out those steel types, those ice types, and those fairies so that Guzzlord doesn't have to deal with them in the end. And we could have thrown another Shadow Ball, as this Surf does not KO, and we would have easily made it to another Shadow Ball. So not throwing at ideal times, I will admit, but we're still okay. We're fine. We can easily bring our Deoxys back in onto this Lapras. Gonna shield up this, and we didn't have to shield this either. Oh, man. Yeah, we're not playing our best in this, but we're still doing well. So we're at a shield disadvantage. You're going to shield up the Sludge Wave. If you run into a Snarl, Alolan Muck, for those of you that are relatively new to Go Battle League, the moveset for a Snarl Muck is Dark Pulse Sludge Wave. While Poison Jab Muck, which is what you generally see, will be running Acid Spray Dark Pulse. So we do live one. Sludge Wave, gonna throw this Dragon Claw, really hoping that the switch timer is up in time. If it's up, we could easily catch this, but it's not, so we're stuck here. Holy smokes. But I think we're gonna do just fine. They take us out with that massive Sludge Wave with Stab, and I think we're in a good spot here. Gonna throw with good timing here. Get to this Rock Slide, and we're saying bye-bye to the Alolan Muck, and we're whacking down the Lapras with our Deoxys. Holy smokes. Deoxys left standing in the end, closing strong for us. Good game, well played. Oh, Guzzlord puts in the work in the Ultra League. My goodness. It's so good and a lot of fun to run. And here we go. Shadow Ampharos. Not the best lead, relatively neutral here. Ideally, we would want to have our Guzzlord onto this, but it's okay. We can throw this Rock Slide. We grab an early shield. And they built all the way up to the Zap Cannon. I was thinking, there's no way, and they go for that massive Shadow Zap Cannon. Holy smokes. That does absurd damage to a very tanky Pokemon. My goodness. And just going to throw this Rock Slide, and my goodness, hats off to them going for that Zap Cannon. But we can easily align our Guzzlord here. We know the moveset. We hardwall this moveset like you wouldn't believe. And we do get a nice energy lead. Very risky just losing lead like that, but we see that they have a Cresselia here. If they had anything bad for our two dark types, they would have brought it in, but they bring in Cresselia. If that's their best answer to one of our dark types, we're looking all right here, and they've got a Talonflame, so we're looking pretty good. Just going to overload a bit and go for this big Shadow Ball. It does a little bit more damage than a Dark Pulse with Stab here. And that does some nice damage on this Talonflame. I bet you they weren't expecting that. A lot of people don't even realize Mandibuzz can run Shadow Ball. And we do tank that Brave Bird like a champ. Mandibuzz, the ball comes in so clutch. We're going to bait with an Aerial Ace because they just debuffed themselves. That was a very safe bait, and we do successfully pull that off. They still can't get rid of us with these charge moves. Holy smokes. Mandibuzz refuses to go down. And we Dragon Tail that down. We've got a 2-shield advantage. This Cresselia can do nothing so long as we have these shields. The double super effective Moonblast from this health range would KO for sure. And we are going to go for this Crunch. I don't think it'll quite KO, but it will do big damage on the Cresselia, and a Dragon Tail does the trick. Guzzlord doing what it does best on this team, and that is close the game strong. Good game, well played. Oh man, running this team in this cycle of the Ultra League, the wins were just pouring in. It was a thing of beauty. What's also a thing of beauty is a Cobalion lead. They make a play into a Pidgeot. Could have come in with Mandibuzz, but the Dragon Tails on Guzzlord are quite nice, and Guzzlord is our... Cobalion is the worst matchup for our Guzzlord, so this is the alignment. This is the proper alignment here. And we get the defense drop on that Crunch, so that is really nice. Going to shield up the Brave Bird to maintain our favorable alignment here with our Deoxys onto that Cobalion. We did have to give up a shield in the process, but guys, we've got a lot of bulk on this team, and the shields generally go to Guzzlord anyways, so that is okay. They do come back in with the Cobalion, and this is a nightmare matchup for Guzzlord, so just going to throw the Crunches. That's going to do more raw damage, and you have that 30% chance to lower their attack by their defense by one stage. So that is the proper move to throw on a Pokemon like a Cobalion, and they do just double kick us all the way down, but that's okay. We can absorb that on Deoxys. Oh, they got a Jelly. It's over. It is nighty-night, sleep tight, and they do top left. Jellicent can do nothing to Mandibuzz. That's going to be yet another good game, well played. I tell you, this is a team that you can really settle into, get a good groove going, and really get some nice wins in the Ultra League. And here we go. Nightmare lead yet again, Giratina, and an even worse counter swap. Holy smokes. That was a bad lead, and this is an even worse counter swap. We've got a Sylveon here with Charm on our Mandibuzz. Looks like we're actually running Foul Play. I'm telling you guys, I wasn't kidding. We were experimenting with that second move on Mandy. Started out with Dark Pulse, tried out Shadow Ball, and now apparently we have Foul Play. But again, if you have a Mandibuzz and you end up running it, I think Dark Pulse is a nice happy medium between all three moves here. So they do charm us down. We put in a little bit of work, grab the shield from the Sylveon, so that's good for us. And we're just going to look to absorb this damage here. They got quite the farm down on our Mandibuzz, and now we will throw the Rock Slide here with proper timing after one of our counters. And this will say bye-bye to the Sylveon, and now I'm hoping Guzzlord up a shield can make something happen here. Giratina is staying in a little bit, likely to chip and dip into something that they have in the back. I don't know what else they could have in the back. The fact that they're staying in was giving me a little hope that maybe they're weak in the back. So we do tank a Dragon Claw. We can let that go. I don't want to tank a second one, again, not knowing what they have in the back, so we're just going to cap out and throw this Dragon Claw here. and see what they have. It could be another Charmer. That is quite common with a Giratina lead, but it's an Empoleon. Holy smokes. Not the worst steel type to see because we are resisting their fast move pressure, but they have a shield, so we need to break through that final shield. The good thing is that we do have the energy lead here, so we do grab the final shield. Gonna throw 2 and catch. A lot of Empoleon trainers like to go up to 7. We knew that, so we catch this, and they undercharge. Oh my goodness. I need this trainer to not know what to do in these situations, but to my dismay, they knew exactly what to do. Very well played by them. That's going to take us out. My goodness, that was a pretty RPS team. We tried our best, but couldn't quite get that one done. Good game, well played. Oh, we made that RPS team as close as we could. Couldn't quite get that one done, but here we go. Clefable lead. This is a bit of a core breaker for our team here. Holy smokes. Clefable. Very good, guys. Hopefully you caught my Clefable team not too long ago. This thing is amazing. It has an insane win rate in the Ultra League when in the zeros. So it beats just about everything outside of the steel types in the zeros, which is absolutely wild. We know that. We're going to have to give up a shield here because we need to get this within a manageable health range. We're not going to stay in this for the long haul. We don't know what else they have in the back. We needed them to let that rock slide through. So we can let this go. Just a Meteor Mash. And now we're going to pivot into Mandibuzz, bank some energy, and look to farm down. They're not making it to another Moonblast in time. This is just a neutral Meteor Mash. Much rather tank a Meteor Mash than a Moonblast, 100%. And they've got a Gyarados in the back, so this is good. Glad to draw this out with Mandibuzz because it is running Dragon Breath, and that would really start to add up on our Dragon-type Guzzlord in the back. Although we do hard wall the charge moves, the Dragon Breath from a Pokemon that hits pretty hard would be a bit of an issue. So very glad to see this here. Going for another foul play. And I'm thinking we can farm down. These Air Slashes are really chunking. They make a play into a Gliscor, so going to align our Guzzlord onto this Gliscor. We are at a shield disadvantage here. That's okay. We are quite tanky. We tanked this. They tried to go for a Night Slash. That's not quite going to cut it. They're definitely going to need to get to an Earthquake here. Going for the Dragon Claw bait. Generally, you want to be going Crunch. It can learn Brutal Swing as well. In fact, it is recommended that you go Brutal Swing. I like Crunch for the extra added damage as well as that Crunch debuff. That is quite nice. So I do prefer Crunch. As you can see, we tanked that EQ like a champ. I wasn't sure if they were going to try and double bait us, but they went right for it there, and they will get that farm down. But we do have the shield advantage. Both of our Pokemon are quite low. They throw the Gyarados in to take us out. We elect to let that go because we knew that we had a move stored on our Mandibuzz. So we just need to throw this foul play. I'm thinking it should be in foul play range. So we're going to go for this, and this should be game here. But they hang on, my goodness, but we get the Air Slash through. We have more than 1 HP, so we survive through the shield. That Air Slash took out the Gliscor. That one was super close. Very exciting. A tricky lead to deal with, but we got it done in the end, my goodness. So that is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to our opponent. And like I said, this team, quite clutch. Again, I was inspired to run the Deoxys Guzzlord core by fellow content creator Home Slice Henry. He recently ran the same core, but he had Snorlax on the safe swap, Shadow Snorlax. I decided to roll with my perfect IV, best buddied Mandibuzz. I don't get to run it too often, and if you're going to lead with a strong psychic type like Deoxys, Mandibuzz, never a bad idea to run in the back. So that's a pretty solid safe swap. As you can see, it was able to flip switch in a lot of circumstances. The bulk is just off the charts, even though it doesn't quite get to that 25 CP limit, 2500 CP limit. The bulk is still very much there. So you don't have to shield Mandy. You rarely have to shield Deoxys. You can save those shields for Guzzlord, which doesn't particularly need them, but it's always a nice thing if you can set up your closer with a shield advantage. All the moving parts work together beautifully, which is a recipe for a lot of success in the Ultra League. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.